So I've got a Pierce framing nailer from Harbor Freight. It's been through at least 1,000 nails, never had a bit of issue, never once well, it does double tap, but it never once had any jams that I've had to clear or anything. It was just rock solid. Then one day I was putting on siding and the nail didn't go all the way in, and I noticed there was air coming out of the trigger, and I kept after it and more air came out of the trigger, and I tried to adjust it. I had no idea what I was doing, so I did some research. There's a valve inside here that apparently is a wear part. I was able to find on Harbor Freight's website for this nailer that they sold about 3 parts for it, and one of them is the trigger valve. I could not find another video on how to replace the trigger valve specifically for the Pierce nailer. There was one for a Hitachi nailer that will get me started. So this thing is unhandily put together with just roll pins that go all the way through the trigger guards, and they have to be pressed out. No bolts for us here. Got some little drifts or punches that were probably also from Harbor Freight, and hopefully, oh good. And I'm surprised that that was not long enough. Okay, got the nail out for, or the pin out for this plastic trigger guard. There's one more roll pin here. This one should be a little easier to get to. Hopefully I've got enough length on my drift there. And pin number 2. In the video that I watched, the other guy used a drill bit to drift those pins out. I was planning on using a finish nail if that one didn't work. So the next thing we're going to do is try to get this out. I'm going to try to drive that out using this screwdriver as a chisel, and it threads in, so just got to unthread it. Try to get some meat. It's very soft aluminum, so luckily the kit comes with that part, so I don't have to worry about boogering it up anymore. Basically, I'm just driving this out by pressing on these little slots with the screwdriver and tapping it so that they spin around, so that the whole unit spins around. Of course, my hand has to be exactly where the camera can see. Okay, so now it's unthreading by finger. Okay, and I have to pay attention here because I have never done this before and I have no idea what I'm looking at. So this, I think, is the valve itself. I don't actually see anything at all wrong with this. A spot of grease and, you know, what the heck is that? Thought that was grease, but it's like dried up plastic, maybe like glue. This is the replacement kit. I just ordered this up from Harbor Freight. There's an 800 number. Guy was super nice on the other end. So this is the part, I guess, that was this. And it maybe used to be a little BB, and now it's a, ugh. Okay. So I'm guessing that all this crumbled up plastic in here. Used to be the same as this ball. Obviously this valve with the O-ring is this valve with the O-ring. And there's also a little plastic ring that I don't know where it goes. There's an O-ring up here, and the O-ring is on the new part. Ah, there it is. It's way down in there. Okay, so that's it. That's that ring. All right. So I know where that ring goes, and I am assuming that this little bunch of plastic in the bottom was one of these balls at one time. And I guess I could consult the instruction manual, because it does have a exploded parts diagram, but I'm going to live dangerously. Just go with my assumption. There is an O-ring on the end of this aluminum part. I'm just going to put some tool oil on that before I drop it in. Now when I look to see if there were parts kits for these on the internet, of course, anytime you search for anything on Harbor Freight on the internet, everyone will tell you you can't get parts for it, and it's junk, and you wasted your money, and you just have to go out and buy another brand. And sometimes that's true. Got a lot of use out of this one already, and it's not something I use every day. I don't need it for a living. I'm just doing siding, some small framing projects. I don't know how tight this needs to be. Alright, and this is the actual little trigger thing. Goes inside there. Again, just some regular tool oil. Golly. Okay. And then the trigger. Okay. We'll edit all that out in post. And I'm just tapping the roll pin back in, hoping that it comes out the other side. There's not anything to guarantee concentricity between the two holes. You can wiggle the, there it went. Okay, that was a whole lot easier. Okay, so there's a couple of things about the front pin. This little slider, whatever the heck it does, well, it connects up here to the, I'll call that the foot, I have no idea, safety release or something. It has to be pulled back ever so slightly so that the pin can drop through. And at the same time, you've got to get this thing lined up. I was calling it a guard earlier. I guess I will continue to. So I'm going to press the pin in just a little bit, then I'm going to try to reach from the other side and grab that little slidey thing and pull it back. Never done this before. Okay. is done. I have no idea how long that took. Most of it was me futzing around trying things over and over. Let's fire it up. I've been recording for about 32 minutes and 38 seconds. Of course, once I edit out all my mistakes and cuss words and everything, video will come up a lot shorter, but 32 minutes for me front to back to figure out how this thing went together. And finally, I gotta go get some nails. So if this helped you understand how your Pierce nail gun, framing nailer, trigger valve works, what it's like inside, what it's like to change it, you can like the video. If you want more content on nail guns, subscribe to somebody else, because this is my last one and I am obviously not an expert at it, and that was a bit of trouble for me. We got it done. 30 minutes job, just correcting mistakes. So if I can do it, you can do it.